Hello everyone, my name is Saksham Dikshit and this is my channel Pentest Diaries. So today I'll make another video in the same series of Solidity programming series, and in this I'll try to cover another video itself, and the topic of the video is storage versus memory. So this is the most important thing which we are a bit worried about it so far itself. So I'll just try to cover storage and the memory also, and where we require the storage, where we require the memory, and where exactly we have how to sort it out, like where exactly we have to utilize it. Everything I'll try to cover, and in this video itself, a theory part is more than the practical section itself. Practical is a smaller video, I have it for it, smaller code I have it prepared for it, but the theory part is more over there itself, which can categorize between a storage and the memory. So I'll try my best to make you understand about both the things itself and how you can utilize that as per the need. Okay, so we'll start with the theory part first, as we do always. So in Solidity, as well as in many programming languages, the terms storage and the memory refer to a different type of data locations where variables can be stored. So it's as understood in all the programming languages, storage and the memory is categorized in a data location where exactly the variables and values of the variables can be getting stored itself. Okay, the understanding the distinction between a storage and the memory is important for writing efficient and the secure smart contract. So if we want to write a smart, secure smart contract itself, then in that case we should know where we have to use the storage and where we have to use the memory. It depends on the gas efficiency and everything about it. So I'll try to cover everything in later phase itself. So now first we're talking about the storage itself. So in case of storage, the persistent storage. Okay, it means like whatever we try to get it right in the storage, it's get it forever as it's writing on the blockchain. So let me read the content for you and then you can able to understand that. Variables declared with the storage keyword are stored permanently on the blockchain. It was permanently when we are trying to use a storage keyword in a smart contract, then in that case whatever we want to write, it's get right permanently. Okay, this is used for state variable is smart contract, and the data persists between function calls and transactions. Okay, that you can understand that it's utilized for the state variables itself in smart contract, and the data persists between a function call which you're using inside of the smart contracts and transactions only. Now we're talking about the costly part itself, which is most important for us itself. So reading from and writing to storage are relatively expensive operations in terms of gas costs. Writing to storage consumes more gas than reading from the data. Okay, so as understood itself, writing to storage consumes more gas than reading from the data itself. So that was the reason behind it. It's a bit costly. Like in case of storage itself, whatever the things we are doing on a blockchain itself, it is a bit costly as compared to we are doing it on a memory itself, which is a random memory, like which is not permanent, but this is a persistent. That was the reason it consumes a lot of it's a bit costly for us. Now if I'm going further with the memory part itself, so in case of memory, it's a temporary storage, which understood to us is this is not permanent. Similar like a storage, it's not permanent. This is temporary. Variable declares with the memory keywords are temporary and exist only during the execution of a function. When the function is get executed, only at that time only the temporary storage will be utilized, which you call it as a memory, and they are used for holding a data that is needed during the execution of a function and is required to persist on the blockchain itself. So this is as per the need in the blockchain itself. When we want the data to be used, then at the time only during that execution of the function we are utilizing that data which is under the memory itself. That's it, and after that we lost that. We do not want to use it anymore. That was the reason we are going further with that. So we don't want to store anything over there itself. We just wanted that at the time of the execution of the function, then only we have to use the memory. Now low cost of the gas itself. So operations on the memory are cheaper in terms of the gas compared to the storage operation. That's understood as it's not permanent. So we have to spend less gas over there itself as compared to the storage one. Now if I'm talking about, it's crucial to choose the right type of data locations to optimize the gas usage and prevent unnecessary persistence of data. In general, in general use storage for state variable that need to persist across multiple transactions and use memory for temporary data within a function scope. That's I already covered. Additionally, there is another keyword which we call it as a call data, which is also, I just want to mention it over here itself, which is used to store function arguments and is read only. Understanding the use of each storage type is essential for writing secure and guess efficient smart contract in Solidity. That's most important line itself. Understanding the use of each storage very carefully so that you can make a secure smart contract and guess efficiency will be reduced in a smart contract. We just have to utilize a less guess. That's make us smart contract well and good for us itself, and which less expensive than if we are using storage based stuff. So many variables we're using in a storage itself, that's bit expensive as compared to that. If we are using a memory as per our need itself, then in that case we are making a best smart contract in Solidity. Now if I'm having a comparison also in between of the storage and the memory also. So the storage holds state variables, in case of memory holds local variable and defined inside of the functions if they are reference type. If we talk about the storage, it's persistent, but in case of memory it's not. In case of storage, cost of the guess is bit high, but in case of memory, no guess. But in case of storage, like a computer SSD, but like a RAM in case of memory itself, as it's a random one, it's not utilized after once the execution of the function is done, then after that we lost that memory itself. So that's a part of the theory section itself, which I just want to get it covered in this video. Now we go to the practical section. I just run the code for you and explain you about how exactly the things are working over there itself. So let me go to the system now and explain you about it. Okay. So in the coding part itself, if I'm talking about, this is a straightforward syntax which we are using it from so many code itself. And now the name of the contract is a demo. Now over here itself, this is a which you can able to identify very clearly. I'm not explaining once again. You are able to identify it over here itself. And what exactly we are doing it over here itself, you can able to get it identify, as I've already defined it, and the clue is a dynamic one. Now if we go ahead further with that, and I'm talking about, this is a function. So function name is mem. We are defining it, that we call it as a memory. And now if we are proceeding further with that, inside of it we have defining this is a string dynamic variable and dynamic array itself, and this is a memory one, and I'm just defining s1 as a student itself. So there is a local variable, I'm just making as s1 equal to student. So this is a state variable, and this we are trying to make it as a this. I'm just defining it as a student over here itself, get it defined as a s1 as a student itself. Now s1 pointer 0 equal to Akash. I'll try to modify that value, whatever the value we get it defined for the dynamic array over here itself. I'll just try to get it modified that with s1 0 is equal to Akash. Now if I'm going to the next section for it, where I'm just making a function as a sto itself, and I'm just defining it over here itself, but this time instead of using a memory, I'm using a storage. The main reason behind it, I just wanted that to be get it stored inside of that storage section instead of the memory. So in memory it's defined only in the RAM section itself, but this is going in the blockchain directly itself. So if I'll try to do the same thing with a storage keyword over here itself and defining these things, I can show you that exactly in a code itself what actually difference is happening in when I'm using as a memory and when I'm using as a storage. Okay, let me compile the code for you. And let me now deploy it. Okay, so as the code is deployed, we can go over here itself. So initially I'll just want to see what exactly we have, what exact the value we have it inside of the student. If I'll try to see, it's Mohan. If I'll try to see 1, so it show me Rohan. If I'll try to see 2, it will show as Ankush. Okay, these are the 3 values we are seeing it over here itself. Right now I have not used any function so far. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll just try to trigger mem, and now I'll try to use 0. So what exactly is happening over here itself? We wanted Akash to be get it overwrite over there itself, but it's not done. It's taking a original value. Still be after running this function, still we are seeing the same value which is defined for this dynamic array. So there's nothing get changed even if I'll just call this function. So Now if I'll try to click on this function stu, and now if I'll try to see it, I can see like the values get changed. The reason is that as we have defined inside of this function, we wanted that to be right inside of the memory, which is once the function is get executed and terminate, that memories get lost. So that was the reason it's not written in the blockchain. But if we are using as a storage, then in that case it was written permanently for it. And if I try to call it after that also and try to see this dynamic array, then in that case I can see at 0 position I can able to see as Akash, and whenever I try to call it, it's become Akash only, till I'll not I'll just try to get it deployed once again. Okay, that's the difference between in both the things itself. So if we are just talking about the memory and the storage, I think you are able to understand very clearly in both the cases how it is different from both the sections for it, and what is the privilege we have to like it depend on the wheresoever we have a requirement of the permanent storage itself, we have to go with that storage. But if we do not want that to be get stored, it looks like we just have to process that and that utilize it immediately, then in that case we are not supposed to go with the storage itself, we simply have to utilize the memory. So that's the difference between it. I hope like I can make you understand both the things about it with this video itself. If still it's not clear to you and you want more clarity on it, just let me know about in the comment section of this video. I'll try to make another video for you. But I hope like most of the content which I'll just provided after this video itself, with this video and even through my blog itself, you can able to read it and you can make you understand like what's the difference between it. Even still you're not able to understand, let me know about it. And if you like this video, please subscribe my channel. Thank you so much once again. Take care. Bye bye.